Hey everyone, welcome back to Audiobook Quiver.
It's the place to be if you love books.
We sure do, and today we've got an in-depth summary and review.
Of Start Small, Stay Small, a developer's guide to launching a startup.
So if you're a developer and you've ever thought about building your own software product,
But maybe you felt a little intimidated by the whole venture capital thing.
you know, the go big or go home narrative,
Then this book is for you.
it really is. This book kind of flips the script on traditional startup advice.
Yeah, it steers clear of that whole get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
It focuses on a much more sustainable approach.
So that's self-funding and organic growth.
Exactly.
Okay, I like it. So the author calls this the micropreneur mindset, right?
That's right. It's all about prioritizing lifestyle goals.
Like flexibility and control over your work.
Exactly, instead of just chasing massive financial gains.
Interesting. And the author actually argues that this approach...
Can actually be more profitable in the long run.
Really? That's a bold claim. Does he back it up?
He does. He uses real-world examples.
Okay, cool.
Like Ruben Gomez,
Uh-huh.
who launched a software application while he was working a full-time job.
Wow.
And get this, he ended up making more money from his side hustle
Than his day job.
than his day job.
That's pretty compelling.
It is.
Okay. But I think a lot of developers might be thinking,
Yeah,
like, easier said than done.
for sure.
What about all the pitfalls?
Well, the book tackles that head-on.
Okay, good.
The author argues that the most common reason startups fail
Yeah.
is because they build something nobody wants.
Oh.
And he tells this funny anecdote about web-based software for locating your keys.
Okay.
Hilarious idea.
Yeah.
But ultimately, not a real problem people are willing to pay for.
Right. I can see how that happens.
You get excited about a cool technical challenge,
Uh-huh.
but you kind of forget about the market need.
Yeah. How does the book address that?
Well, it really emphasizes the importance of finding a niche.
Okay.
So instead of trying to build a general online accounting app,
Which is a crowded space.
super crowded, you might focus on a specific niche,
Okay.
like accountants who specialize in cryptocurrency.
Interesting. So even within a narrow field,
Uh-huh.
like accounting,
Yeah.
there are niches within niches.
Absolutely. And the book even gives you a clever way to gauge niche viability.
Okay. How do you do that?
You can look at magazine ad prices.
What?
If a niche magazine exists with full-page ads going for under $5,000, it might be worth exploring.
That's a pretty unique metric.
It is.
But, okay, so let's say you've found your niche.
Okay.
You got a product idea. What's next?
Well, this is where the author's own story comes in.
Okay.
He started as a developer who loved coding,
Uh-huh.
but eventually he felt like he wanted more control over his work.
Okay.
And that's when he made the shift to entrepreneurship.
Gotcha.
And the key, he argues, is setting clear goals and holding yourself accountable.
That makes sense. But going from developer to entrepreneur,
Yeah,
that's a pretty big leap.
it is.
Does the book talk about that transition at all?
It does. The book talks about the challenges of shifting from a completion-focused mindset,
Right.
finishing a piece of code,
Yeah.
to the ongoing nature of a startup.
Where you're building and iterating and adapting constantly.
Exactly.
So a startup is never really done, is it?
Nope.
And that's where time management becomes super crucial.
Yes. He has this really relatable example about the cost of waiting in line.
Oh, I hate waiting in line.
Yeah, he makes you realize how much that seemingly unproductive time is actually worth.
Okay, so what's his solution?
He recommends carrying a notebook to jot down ideas whenever they strike.
Yeah.
And capitalize on these fleeting moments of inspiration.
Okay.
He also talks about action notes.
What are action notes?
It's a way to ensure you're not just passively absorbing information,
Uh-huh.
but you're actively extracting value from it.
Okay, so can you explain that a little more? What exactly does that mean?
Sure, it's about taking notes in a way that prompts action. So instead of just summarizing what you're reading, you're asking yourself, how can I apply this to my business?
I see.
What specific steps can I take based on this information?
Turning knowledge into actionable steps. I like that.
And that leads nicely into the next big section of the book,
Which is?
building a killer sales website.
Okay.
One that actually converts visitors into customers.
Right, because a great product doesn't sell itself.
It does not.
So what are some of the key takeaways there?
He uses this analogy of a sales funnel.
Okay.
You start with a large audience at the top, and then you gradually narrow it down to your ideal buyers.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do you actually build a website that does that?
He talks about the importance of clear calls to action,
Uh-huh.
making sure your site is easy to navigate and accommodating different reading styles.
Okay.
He even mentions something called the two-click rule.
The two-click rule, I've never heard of that. What is it?
It's the idea that any information a visitor wants should be accessible within 2 clicks from the homepage.
Oh.
It's about making navigation intuitive and avoiding unnecessary complexity.
Okay, that makes sense. I can definitely see how that would improve user experience.
For sure.
But what about building an audience in the first place?
Right.
How do you get people to your website to begin with?
That's where the book's focus on top-shelf strategies comes in.
Top shelf strategies, what are those?
It's about building a long-term audience
Okay.
through things like email lists, blogs, podcasts, and SEO.
Okay.
Think of it as creating a sustainable foundation for your business.
Uh-huh.
It takes time and effort,
Right.
but it's much more effective in the long run than relying on short-term tactics.
Like paid advertising.
Exactly.
So it's about building those genuine relationships with your audience?
Yes.
Not just trying to make a quick sale.
Exactly. And speaking of efficiency, the book also talks about working with virtual assistants.
Oh yeah, VAs. I've heard a
VAs.
lot about them, but I've never actually used one myself.
Yeah.
What's the book's take on that?
The author is a big advocate for outsourcing tasks
Okay.
that can be done more efficiently by someone else.
Especially if it frees you up to focus on the things only you can do.
Exactly.
Time is your most valuable asset as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. And he shares his own experience with automating the sign-up process
Okay.
for his software-hosted .NET Invoice.
Uh-huh.
And he actually learned that sometimes it's better to outsource first and automate later.
So you don't always have to jump straight to automation.
Right. Sometimes it's more efficient to get a human to do it first, figure out the process, and then automate it.
Interesting. So where does the book go from there?
Well, it brings up a question that a lot of entrepreneurs face.
Which is?
Do you grow your existing product or do you start over with something new?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I can see the appeal of both options.
Yeah.
What's the author's advice?
He actually outlines both paths and talks about the benefits of what he calls serial micropreneurship.
Serial micropreneurship. That sounds intriguing. What's that all about?
It's the idea of continuously launching new products. You get to experience the excitement of the early stages over and over again.
I like that.
And you're constantly gaining new knowledge and skills.
So it's almost like treating each product launch as a learning experience.
Exactly. And the book argues that this approach can be incredibly valuable even if some of your products don't take off.
You're always learning and growing.
You are.
I like that mindset. It takes some of the pressure off too, right?
Definitely. And finally, the book dives into the topic of valuing and potentially selling your product.
Okay, that's something I haven't given much thought to. Why is it important to think about that, even if you're not planning to sell?
Because it helps you understand the worth of what you've built.
Uh-huh.
It forces you to look at your business from a different perspective.
Makes sense.
And it can be helpful even if you just want to get a bank loan or attract investors.
Okay, so how does the book approach this?
It provides practical advice on how to value your product,
Okay,
taking into account things like revenue expenses and market trends.
makes sense.
And it also emphasizes the importance of tracking key metrics from the very beginning.
That's a good point. If you don't have a clear picture of your financials, it's going to be hard to value your business accurately.
Exactly. And that brings us to the core message of the book.
Which is?
It's really about challenging the traditional startup narrative.
Right. It's not about raising millions of dollars from venture capitalists and becoming the next unicorn.
Nope. It's about building a sustainable business that aligns with your lifestyle goals.
And gives you more control over your time and your future.
Exactly.
I love how the book encourages you to define your own version of success.
Me too. It's a reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to entrepreneurship.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
So it's about finding what works for you
Yeah,
and building a business that reflects your values.
absolutely. And that's what makes Start Small, Stay Small such a refreshing and valuable read.
Uh-huh.
It's a practical guide that shows you how to build a successful business on your own terms.
I think that's a great point to wrap up our discussion, but before we go, I want to turn it over to you, our listeners.
Yes.
What stood out to you the most about this book?
Let us know.
What resonated with you? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you're interested in learning more about the micropreneur mindset and the strategies outlined in Start Small, Stay Small, I highly recommend checking out the full book.
Absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell
Yes.
for more engaging reviews and book summaries right here on Audiobook Quiver.
It really speaks to developers, you know?
Right.
It
Gets them
understands the unique
as
challenges
they face.
when transitioning into being an entrepreneur.
For example, you mentioned earlier how the book dives into different application types.
Oh, yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more for our developer audience?
Sure. The book breaks down the pros and cons of hosted web applications,
Okay.
downloadable web applications,
Oh.
desktop applications.
Gotcha.
And it even touches on choosing the right tech stack,
which can be a major decision,
Huge.
especially when you're first starting out.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
the technology that you choose
Yes,
impacts your development speed,
for sure.
your cost.
And even the kind of product you can build.
Exactly.
Right.
And the book does a good job of laughing you through the considerations,
It does. It even delves into the nitty-gritty of building a user-friendly interface,
which is so important.
often overlooked.
Yeah, you can have the most brilliant code in the world,
Right.
but if the user interface is clunky,
Nobody's going to use it.
nobody's going to use your product.
Exactly. And speaking of users, the book stresses the importance of customer development.
So talking to your target audience early on,
Yes.
getting their
It's
feedback,
getting feedback.
and
Yep.
incorporating it into your product.
Yes, and the book gives you practical tips on how to do that effectively, like conducting customer interviews, running surveys,
Okay.
really digging deep into what your users want and need.
Which brings us back to that micropreneur mindset
It does.
that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Building a business that serves a specific niche and provides real value.
Real value to its users. And once you've established that value, you have to figure out how to price your product.
Ooh, pricing.
Yes, the book tackles that too.
I was going to say, that's always tricky.
It is. You don't want to undervalue your work,
Right.
but you also don't want to price yourself out of the market.
Exactly. What kind of guidance does the book offer?
It encourages experimentation,
Okay.
A/B testing,
Uh-huh.
to find that sweet spot where you're maximizing revenue without alienating potential customer.
Gotcha.
And it even provides a framework for taking into account factors like market demand,
Uh-huh.
competitor pricing,
Uh-huh.
and your own costs.
Right. So it sounds like the book is pretty comprehensive,
It is.
covering everything from payment processing
Yes.
to handling refunds
Yes.
to managing customer subscriptions.
It really is a one-stop shop for developers
Who are serious.
who are serious about launching their own software product.
So to sum it all up, Start Small, Stay Small is a refreshing and practical guide
It is.
for developers
Who are looking to escape the corporate grind.
and create a more sustainable and fulfilling career path.
For sure.
It's about building a business that aligns with your values,
Yeah.
your lifestyle goals,
Uh-huh.
and your passion for creating amazing software.
That's what it's all about. And it even encourages you to define your own version of success.
Right, and that's what makes Start Small, Stay Small such a great read for developers.
It really is.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
but there's one more thing I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
The book goes into detail about pricing strategies,
Oh, yeah.
specifically for software products.
It does. It offers some really solid advice.
So for our listeners out there who are thinking about launching their own software,
Uh-huh.
what are some of the key takeaways when it comes to pricing?
Well, first off, you need to understand your value proposition.
Okay.
What makes your product unique, and why should people pay for it?
Right. You got to know what you're bringing to the table.
Exactly. Once you've got that nailed down, you can start thinking about different pricing models.
Like, what are some examples?
Well, there's the good old-fashioned one-time purchase.
Okay.
You know, where customers pay a flat fee up front,
Right.
and then they get access to your software.
Simple.
But there are also subscription models where
Right.
customers pay a recurring fee,
Uh-huh.
usually monthly or annually.
And that gives them ongoing access to your software and updates and support.
Exactly. Subscription models are great for generating recurring revenue,
Right. Which can be really helpful for a small business.
especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah, that steady income stream.
Can make a big difference.
Definitely. So the book helps you figure out which pricing model might be best.
It does. It walks you through the pros and cons of each approach.
Okay.
And it even gives you some tips on how to actually set your prices.
Which can be kind of tricky.
It can be. There's no magic formula.
Right.
But the book provides a framework for taking into account things like your costs,
Mm-hmm.
your target market,
Okay.
and your competitors.
So it sounds like the book gives you a solid foundation for making informed pricing decisions,
It does. It empowers you to find that sweet spot.
where you're making a profit
Yes.
without pricing yourself out of the market.
Exactly.
Like, I think that's some really valuable advice for any aspiring software entrepreneur.
I agree. It's one of the many things that makes Start Small, Stay Small such a helpful resource.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered just about everything.
I think so.
So to wrap things up,
Yes.
if you're a developer who's ever dreamed of launching your own software product,
Uh-huh.
but maybe you felt overwhelmed by the traditional startup path,
You know, all the venture capital stuff.
then Start Small, Stay Small is definitely worth checking out.
It's a refreshing and practical guide that shows you how to build a successful business on your own terms.
Absolutely. All right, folks, that's our in-depth summary and review.
Of Start Small, Stay Small, a developer's guide to launching a startup.
If you found this helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up
And subscribe to our channel.
and hit that notification bell for more engaging reviews and book summaries right here on Audiobook Quiver.
We'll see you next time.